Top of the morning. There's Piper back there, let's say right there, taking a nap. It's early in the morning. As promised, I'm going to do an edit of the photos that I took at the West Gate. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I don't want to make this too long a video. Please, if you like the content of my channel, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or consider subscribing to this channel. The more subscriptions, the more incentive that I'll have to do more. So let's go right into Lightroom and do those edits. So here we are in Lightroom, and these are the images that I shot. I did take some photos out that I didn't like. Now these ones of the tree look very overexposed, but that's about right. I know that's hard to believe. I think I'll start with this, I don't know what this one right here. Do the edit. This is the focus stacking. Here's the foreground. Now I'm going to go to the last one where I focused in the background, and you can see the difference. The first one focused on the foreground is really sharp, but the foreground in the last one where I focused in the background is not sharp. Now what I like to do is I'm going to go to my first image, and I like to do some pre-processing before I take it into Photoshop, if that's even such a word. So I have a preset over here on my mics panel called Developer. Presets are anything that you do to every photo. There are certain things that I do to every photo. If I go over here, lens correction is one of them. I do slight adjustments in the highlights and the shadows, and a little sharpening and a little vibrance. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Developer, and you can see the slides have moved. Now I'm not a big histogram peeper, but I look at my overall exposure. I do have highlights, do have shadows, but overall the whole image is a little dark. Or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It needs to be darkened. It's a little light. So I'm going to darken about like that. And I still have shadows over here, still have highlights. Now sometimes what I'll do is just to see, I'll pull over the highlights, and I think it starts looking a little, I don't know what you call it, a little fake looking. Open up the shadows just a little bit. Now the backslash key right underneath the delete key, you can hit that for before and after, and that makes quite a bit of difference. Now let's look at some of the other adjustments I have here. I have texture and clarity up to about 11. I use vibrance. I stay away from saturation. Detail panel, I usually have about 60% sharpening, and lens correction, I automatically have that on. Transform. Now in nature you don't need this too much, but I'm going to go ahead and hit auto and see what happens. Kind of straighten it up a little bit. Okay, and then effect is your vignette. I usually do that towards the end. So let me go back here. Overall, I use automatics on my color balance. See what happens. Now I knew because of the overarching green that I would get too much magenta. In my magenta I have a plus 30. I'm going to take that down to about 15, about half. And I like that a little better. And a lot of my editing is done that way. I look at the screen and what do I like. Now the longer I look at those trees, it looks like there's a little more magenta in them. Now here's the way to learn. Just slide your slider extreme so you can see what would happen if you go what direction. I'm going to use my radial tool here, zero everything out by double clicking the effects over here, and this is where I want my viewer to look, right in here. So what I may do is brighten that area up. Now go back to my radial. If I turn this all the way down, I have it in backwards. If I turn that all the way down, you get that kind of vignette. Of course you wouldn't use that, so I'm going to turn it way down like that. Now let's do a before and after again. Before, after, before, after. Okay, I'm going to increase my highlights a little bit, open up my shadows even more. Okay, So I've got my before and after. Here's before, after. Now I've got these three other images, so I'm going to select them all, go over here to sync, and I'm going to sync everything. So synchronize. Now that's going to do everything to those 4 photos. While they're highlighted, I'm going to left click on it, and I'm going to go edit, open as layers in Photoshop. Now this will take a few minutes to do, especially because I'm doing this recording. So what I'm going to do is select by shift selecting on my Mac all 4 panels. Now I'm going to go up here to the edit, and I'm going to go to auto align levels. When you do focus stacking, which I showed you on camera in the other video, sometimes there's a little movement between focused images, so I'm going to auto align them. Now this is where Photoshop does its magic. I go back to edit and I go to auto blend. I don't turn anything on down here, and I stack images. Now that doesn't sound like it's going to do anything. The little icon shows like a photo stacking type thing, focus stacking. So I'm going to say OK. Now it's going to build me mask here on the areas that it thinks is there. It did it pretty quick too. Now you can see that little edge right there. Okay, so if I look at my photo and zoom into the foreground, you can see every droplet is real sharp. As I go back, it continues staying sharp all the way to the background. It's sharp, and there's that little edge. You can see a little blur edge there and a little no content or has nothing in that layer there, but I just crop that out later. So let me go back to full screen. Okay, now I'm going to flatten this. That'd be one layer then, and I have a what I call my landscape action down here. So I'm going to hit that. Maybe one day I'll do a video on how to build this action. It's pretty easy. I have one for saturation, one for lighten or dodge, and one for darken or burn. So I'm going to start with my darken one, and I look at my photo. What would I like to darken? This really adds a little more punch. So I'm going to hit my brush. My foreground color is white. A smaller brush. This is the darken one, and I'm just going to touch there. Shift. Shift. When I say shift, I'm just holding down my shift key. Whoop, I shouldn't have done that. Command Z on a Mac, Shift, and I'm just coloring some of or darkening some of the trees, making my brush about the size of the tree. And don't worry if it's overdone. I usually overdo things and then go back and tone them down. Okay. So you can see on my mask I got these little lines going in it right here. What else do I want to darken? I want to darken some of this ground right here, so I'm going to make a little bigger brush. I'm just going to paint that in. A little deer trail right there. And that really looks like I've overdone it, but again, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to go to my highlights, and I'm going to highlight some of these leaves here. And again, you can see that it's way overdone. Just highlight some of these leaves. This is where I enjoy the editing. It becomes kind of artsy fartsy for me here. Okay, if I turn off and on that layer, you can see what it's done. If I turn off my shadow area, wow, that really made a difference. Now I'm going to go to my saturation, and I'm going to go to a bigger brush, and I'm going to saturate these foreground. Kind of draw the viewer's eye right into the center there. Okay, so I'm going to take it down, the opacity, the effect of it, down quite a ways, and then I double click on the mask itself, and then I take the feather and I turn it way up. Okay, now if I turn that off and on, it has an effect, but not as much. In fact, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Okay, so here we go again. Before, after, you can see the slight punch in it. And I'm going to vignette it or feather it even more. Okay, and you can see it kind of fuzzes the whole thing out. Now let's go to our light channel and opacity again. I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to feather that channel also. Or mask, I should say. I said channel, but it's a mask. And now on my darken, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to watch the screen. And it looks like I took it all out, but it's still there. And then I'm going to feather it also. A little more. Okay, so each level. Here's a little punch there. A little more highlight. And then the saturation. I'm going to flatten that. And then I'm going to, this is a panel that I downloaded. It's a free panel from Raya Pro. They have a real nice panel. I forgot how much it is. I just haven't spent the money. I am going to spend the money one of these days. But I'm going to use this Detail Enhance. So it takes a minute for it to build. Okay, it's finally done. Let me turn off this level. Now you can see how crispy it's overdone. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here. And there it is. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, that's with the Detail Enhance off, on. Off, on. Now the attempt would be to leave it there, but that's not what I'm going to do. So I'm going to zoom back out. And I'm going to put a mask here, but I want a black mask. So it hides everything in this layer. So I'm going to hit my option button on my Mac, and there's a black mask. And I'm going to have white in my 4-color, B for brush. And I'm going to get me a nice big brush, and I'm going to paint in the detail in this foreground especially. Okay, and you can see my mask, and then what I do is I option click on the mask, and it brings it up, so I'll fix these things. You could use a graduate to do this also, I guess. Not all masks are going to be colored exactly like this. Now let me go back to the photo. Okay, here's my before, after. Now I'm going to turn that effect down, and I've learned way past 50. So let me do the before and after. Before, after. You can see it just gives it a little more punch to my focus. So then I'm going to flatten this. And I'm going to bring it back into Lightroom. So I'm going to save it, Command S on a Mac. And there's the image. It's grayed out until I move it. But what I like to do is stack the images together. So I'm going to, the one selected, then I'm going to Command, click here, 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 and here. Right click, stacking, group into stack. I'm going to click off of that, come back to it. Okay. And let's just look at, we can still make adjustments to this image. Now it looks like the highlights are a little blown out, so I'm going to darken a little bit, pull the highlights back a little bit. There we go. Now it's time to crop that one odd looking thing out, so I'm going to go to my crop tool. I'm going to unlock it because I like to do this just by pulling in the corners just slightly. Okay, I still see a little magenta in it, maybe a little green out, not sure. Pump up the blacks a little more. Let's see, shadows. Take down my shadows just a little bit. Again, most of this has been done. Now I'm going to go and add a little more vignette to it. It really draws the viewer's eye to these foreground. Okay, so what I want to do now is do a comparison. I'm going to take the one we edited and a middle one here and do a compare, side-by-side comparison. Here's our edited one. Here's our slightly edited in Lightroom. Let's zoom in 1:1. Oops. Compare again. There we go, 1:1. You can see how much sharper this image is than this image. Now this image, let me go to the one that had the foreground in it. Can you see how much sharper this one is than this one? So I'm going to zoom back out. And that's how I would edit that photo. I'm not sure how long this video has gone, but it seems like long enough. come back and I'll edit another one of these in a later video. Thanks for watching.